Everybody has a coach, right? Rafael Nadal has several. Jamie Oliver, well, he's got a whole team of them. But so does Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and even Barack Obama. Even regular people have a coach. In fact, hundreds of our clients use the services of one of our coaches to very great effect. So it stands to reason that we begin to wonder, okay, so what makes a really, really good coach? Well, in my experience, most of them are specialists of some kind or another. They've usually spent years and years perfecting some particular skill or ability that is normally hard for us mere mortals to get a grasp on. They're quite often not superstars in that particular field of endeavour themselves. So that makes them a bit strange. If the superstars doesn't make the best coach, how come? Interesting enough, perhaps it stands to reason that these ultra talented people have one major handicap that you wouldn't think about until we talk about it. You see, they didn't have to figure out how to do something that came to them naturally and easily. Therefore, due to less struggle in the effort to master something, they didn't figure out how to explain or how to demonstrate what it is that this particular skill would take. And that's why superstar coaches generally have emerged through some struggle. And it stands to reason, when we say, does the best player make the best coach? Most people recognise, no, there's a bit more to it than that. So, when they've overcome whatever it is that they had to struggle with, they understand how they did it. So they can explain to others what to do step by step to get a win. In fact, that's what my coach does for me. Number one, he clearly identifies what I can't see myself. Sometimes he boggles my mind with how quickly and how easily he sees what I can't see. Number two, he shows me what I need to do to get a sustainable, workable breakthrough. And number three, then he explains how to implement it in my normal everyday life. And that's worth every cent that I pay for it. And trust me, I pay quite a few cents. So who is this magician coach? Well, his name is Nicholas De Castella, and I've been using his services for 25 years now. Now, that either means I've got more issues than a zebra fighting off 20 lions in the jungle, or he's stayed ahead of the game himself. Either way, in my book, Nick is the genuine, the real deal, a true master of his craft. And after 25 years of nagging him, I've finally convinced him to do for my clients what he's done for me. What is that, you say? Well, how in the heck are we going to get this to work? You see, Nick's not your average kind of a character. In fact, he's nothing like your average character, which I hope he sees as a compliment. You see, he lives on acreage in the Dandenongs in paradise. He's married to the girl of his dreams. He spends most of his day being a full-time dad. He owns enough real estate to not really have to work again. And he has holidays all the time. Oh, and he spends a bit of time running just for the sheer enjoyment of it. And I'm pretty proud to say that that's something that I had something to do with way back then. So, Nick's got no real reason to leave his hermit-like paradise existence, and probably you wouldn't either. Despite that, and maybe this is why it's taken me so long, I finally convinced him to just do one road trip with me. So, Nick and I are officially going on tour. We're coming to your capital city. And you'll have the chance to spend a whole day with Nick and I learning the big three that I just mentioned back there. But there's a bunch of provisos, so we kind of need to look at that. And you would have been expecting that anyhow. But this comes straight from Nick. Number one, I have to be there. So he wants to team teach the day with me. So we're going to be sharing the teaching day between us. He also insists that there's no more than 40 people in the room at each venue. He wants you to fill in a worksheet prior to the day and bring it with you so that you're adequately prepared and maximise the benefit from the day. He also says we have to do a weekend day, like a Saturday or a Sunday. And number five, he's adamant that it be as cheap as chips, which, I had to agree just to get him to come out of hiding. So here it is. Now, what that means is you don't get to pay the $1,000 an hour that I do, but I figure you're going to be okay with that. In fact, our one-day gig together is just $97. So I figure this is a genuine no-brainer. But, and it's a big but, you're going to have to move quickly, as it stands to reason that there are more than 40 people in each capital city who'd walk on broken glass to spend time with Nick. That means you kind of have to get on your bike. So you'd want to know the dates. Each of these days is 9 a.m. till 5 p.m, so a pretty full day. We're going to be on in Sydney on the 7th of March. We're in Brisbane on the 14th of March. We're in Melbourne on the 21st of March. And we're in Perth on the 28th of March. If you're in Adelaide, then you need to go to one of those 4 cities because we just couldn't get Nick out any more than this. Now you can click on the link in this page to grab your spot if you like. In other words, click up there where it says Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne or Perth, and that's a clickable link and it'll take you through to our booking page. Or, personally, if you like me, I'd pick up the phone and make sure I got one of those spots. 02 6247 8336. What I should tell you is we are more than half sold out, so it's probably worth getting on with it. Anyway, I'll love seeing you on the day. Bye-bye.